Hey guys, this is Joshua Hayes with Soldier of God Apparel. Hey, it wouldn't be right of me to ask anybody to post testimonies if I don't go ahead and post at least one of my testimonies. So here it goes. Back in 2004, I got into a car wreck, a little collision. A pizza delivery guy decided that he didn't need to stop at a stop sign in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and ended up hitting my 99 S10 and flipped it, and I skid approximately 20 yards. While I was skidding, my arm actually drug the ground, but thankfully I had a leather jacket on it, and it saved my arm. But when I came to a stop, I had actually had to unbuckle my seatbelt. I fell to the ground, and I stood up, and I'm standing in, my car's on its side, and I'm standing up. And I look up, and my window is still closed. Um, Car's crushed, but the window's closed. So I did the first thing that came to mind is I punched it and I jumped out. As soon as I climb out, I take a couple of steps and I collapse. Next thing I remember is being in the ambulance, and a city officer came inside and asked me where I put the screwdriver, and I wasn't quite understanding what he was talking about. But apparently, to bust a window like that, you're supposed to use a sharp object like a screwdriver. Hence why when a full-size vehicle hit it, it did not break. But I told him I didn't like being trapped inside of things, and whenever you don't want something, or if you want something bad enough, you'll get through it. Fast forward a little bit, and I was having some major complications. I couldn't feel my legs anymore, and was having quite a bit of trouble walking. I was actually walking with a cane. Um, I seen three doctors, uh, the two of them orthopedic, one neurosurgeon, and all three basically said there was nothing major wrong with me. They even did an MRI scan, an EMG scan, test, and everything, but couldn't figure out anything. Well, the fourth doctor I went to actually looked at the MRI and said that something was wrong, and it looked like my discs had been crushed or died or something. But he said he needs to get in there and do disc fusion surgery. Well, I said okay. He said it'd only take about 3 hours, and I should be out of the hospital within a couple of days. So we ended up having the surgery. 11 hours into it, the doctor finally patched me up, and when I came to, he asked me how I was able to walk, and I didn't quite understand. Again, I was a kid; I didn't understand much. Um, Apparently my spinal cord had been severed and embedded into my vertebrae, and it took so long to fix me up because they had to pull it out of my vertebrae. He told me open heart surgery doesn't last that long. It was a pretty major, complicated thing. Well, I wasn't smart enough to have this answer then, but I'd learned that there's two voices that a person listens to in their heads, and that's theirs and God's. And if neither one of them says you can't do it, well, you can. Well, the doctor told me that it was a miracle that I was walking, but I wouldn't be able to do anything except sit in front of a computer. Well, I'm not very computer smart at all. I mean, I just spent 30 minutes trying to figure out how to record this. So I got into martial arts and started stretching and working out, and 2 years later, I actually became a police officer. Um, Not one of them that you just sign on and they'll hire you. I actually had to do obstacle course and everything else to prove that I could do it. And then I served as a police officer for 11 years. The reason why I think that's important that you know that I was a cop and I was able to do it is because not only can you overcome something that somebody says you can't do it, but you can surpass even your own expectations. I mean, all you gotta do is just do it. It just takes action and belief. You know, God's here for us all. God bless.